Let me guess, you love making music, but every single time you make a track, it just doesn't hit. I know exactly what you're feeling, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that I wish I would have known sooner that helped transform me from making mediocre tracks like this to this. So over the last few years, I've made some really critical mistakes that have super held me back, and I'm going to show you what those are. So one of the first mistakes I made was choosing the wrong DAW. Now I know like picking a DAW is actually hard. I know I was intimidated when I first started looking for one. But one thing that really messed me up was choosing this DAW. Soundtrap right here. It wasn't until I finally got on with FL Studio that I started to see some major progress. Now it doesn't have to be FL Studio. You can pick Logic, Ableton. But for me, I just like the way FL Studio was, the way it looked, and man, what a difference it has made using FL Studio. Please do me a favor and do not get Soundtrap. It was good in the sense that I didn't know hardly anything when I first started about production, and so the basic format was good, but I wish I would have gotten out of it sooner. So yes, back in FL Studio, I know it looks complicated, but once I started getting the hang of it, it was actually not that hard. The second thing I wish I would have done sooner was get a mentor. Now, shout out to Akeo Music for being my first mentor, actually. And it was so awesome having someone like him to walk me through my project step by step, one-on-one, having Zoom meetings where he would ask for remote control, and he would basically be able to work on the same project as me virtually, and he would do his edits and show me what he would do. This is one of the tricks he taught me right here, was with the reverb, where you do these reverb sweeps in between chord drops. And it was just so awesome, man. His knowledge is insane. He just brought my music production to an extreme next level, and I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, man. The third thing that really hindered me was just the fact that I kept giving up every time a project didn't make sense. I would start a project, I would like it at first, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, this just sounds terrible. And then I'd be like, forget this project, next one. And man, I have been hindered from that, okay? Literally, I have a graveyard full of unfinished projects, and had I just taken the time to maybe figure out why isn't this track working? What's making it not hit so hard? I feel like I would have been further along. And that's what I think. You don't have to follow that to a T. I know sometimes you just get sick of the same project over and over again. I know right now I'm like sick of hearing this one song I've been working on. But I feel like I've wasted an extreme amount of time doing this. And what you get when you do this is you have a bunch of unfinished projects and not something to show for it. And so when your friends ask you, oh, can you show me one of your tracks? And you're like, I don't have any tracks. I gave up on all of them. Not cool, man. Not cool. So the fifth thing that I wish I would have done differently was remake more tracks. I know it's not always the most fun thing to do because you're not making your own music, you're making someone else's music. I get it. But man, the amount of things that I've learned from remaking other tracks and analyzing things like that. Think about it like this. Imagine you're making a song and you have one of the top producers in the studio next to you just standing over your shoulder saying, no, I wouldn't do that. Here's what I would do. I wouldn't put this kind of kick there. I would put this kind of kick there. And while that's kind of not what this really is, it is, because let's say that this track right here was a professional song that I love, that's a top radio song or whatever, and I start making it, you start realizing, okay, for some reason they chose this kind of clap, for some reason they did not put this here, I would have done this but they put this. You get to see what kind of drums they used, what kind of instruments they used. Whereas you might be thinking on your own projects like, oh, this is what I need to do, but then you just take a step back and you look at a professional's track and you see what they did. It's just amazing. You'll learn so much because you get to see in the mind of that producer, and you start to see the more and more tracks you start to remake how a music producer thinks, and it's a game changer, trust me. My music production skyrocketed after this technique. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tell me you're going to go and apply these tips. I learned the hard way, and it really wasted hours and hours and hours of music production where I could have been getting better, but I was actually just being kind of stagnant. So anyways, be sure to like and leave a comment. Let me know what you think you want me to do for a future video. Peace.